Okay, Chris Peaks back with Brandon Moseley for our BCS State of Alabama podcast. We got former state rep and GOP executive member here with us today, Perry Hooper. So, guys, there's a lot of stuff to cover here. I mean, I guess the first thing is get into these August 11th primaries. Let's start with the 6th. This is going to be a pretty low turnout. I mean, I would, a couple percent wouldn't surprise me. Does Case Dixon, does he have a chance to get his people out to the polls and upset Palmer?
You want to start with that?
I think no. I think Gary beat Case pretty soundly when we did it when it didn't count back in May. I think when we do it again with a slightly rejiggied District 6, I think Gary still beats Case. Now I like Case. I just kind of think that isolationist limited presidency, Thomas Massey style Republican Party just won't hunt in Alabama. But that's Case, and he's true to who he is, and
I
nice
respect that.
guy.
I think he's a really good guy, but I think the fact every time I've heard him, he's not a fan of Donald J. Trump, and that ain't going to
Yep.
help him very well in Alabama. And good, bad, and different, Gary's a staunch Trump guy, so I think Gary's going to win that rather handedly.
Yeah, I
Basically
admire,
because of
I
that.
respect that about Case. I mean, I like the way I like his independent streak.
When a Democrat is president, that strong Congress, weak presidency stuff thing plays well.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
when the
good point.
Republicans in the White House, we want the Republicans to follow the president.
Right.
That
Especially
just
right now with Save America Act, some of these weak Republicans we got up there, they ought to have their butts kicked. I mean, who can be against voter ID and making sure
Yeah,
American citizen votes? But it's amazing we got some Republicans that won't go along with that. But anyway, to answer your question, Casey is a good guy. I think he's probably got a bright future. I just don't think this is the race.
this isn't his year.
yeah. I think Casey's got a pretty good future too. Okay, let's jump into this 6th here. We got 6 different candidates there. I know I keep hearing Rhett Marquez is the favorite, but the guy who seems to be getting the momentum to me, and he's raised $250,000, is Hampton Harris. He seems to be Montgomery's candidate. I'm kind of drinking the Kool-Aid this. What do y'all think about Hampton winning this primary?
Well, first of all, I think we got a lot of good candidates actually running this time. I mean, I'm a fan of all of them. I never met the Green Beret guy before, but I was very impressed with him. But I think they all bring a lot to the table. But I do think the key right now is to take back two and get it away from Shamari. That's that we got to have a staunch conservative in DC. I think Hampton is a good candidate. I think he articulates the issue. Um, you're right. He's come on strong, raising uh, a good chunk of change. Of course, Rhett. I think I saw where he is raised close to what, like 1.2 million.
Yeah, but he
Is that?
spent a lot, when he was running in one. Yeah.
Well, he may have, but every time I turn on the TV, I see Donald Trump and Katie Brett endorsing Rhett. And Katie's very popular in my district. Everybody loves Trump, and he's strong as new rope. And so that's going to help Rhett. I do think Hampton's coming on strong. The question is, how many people are going to vote in that race, Chris? I mean, somebody told me they didn't think but 10,000 people may vote in a race where you could possibly see a couple 100,000 in a normal situation. So,
Yeah,
people,
but that number and him being the candidate out of Montgomery, if he turns out some votes in Montgomery, I don't see
If
why.
he turns out to
I
that.
think that's a
And
good
that's
point, Chris. You're making a good point. First of all, I think a low voter turnout is going to turn out the people that like somebody but really don't want somebody else in there. So and that may fall in the hands of Hampton. He's got a lot of friends. A lot of my friends, Trump supporters, like him a lot. He's got a great wife. He's got a great mama, and he had an event the other day here in Montgomery where he raised a big chunk of change. So, and one thing about Hampton, he qualified when it was a 50-50% race. I mean, he wasn't scared
Yeah, I
from
mean,
day one. He was
I
ready to
think it
battle.
was 50-50. I mean, when
it
Hampton
was like
qualified.
60-40 in favor of Shamari before.
Yeah.
I, I don't know if that, I think it was more like 52 or 54%, basically, but I do think it shows that he's a battler and he wants to win this thing for all the right reasons. But I like all the candidates, but I think bottom line at the end of the day is to take back District 2, period.
I know you can't go a lot into this. I mean, and I'm trying not to read into it, but looking at social media, seems like Hampton's somewhere every day. Is he out working these other candidates?
I think Rhett Marquez is working just as hard or more, is roughly equivalent to Hampton. I just think his campaign has been a little bit flat-footed in doing social media and doing podcasts. I think Rhett will win because of the Trump endorsement, but it's been a very flat-footed, old style. We're going to be on TV and we're going to do major events in person type campaign. It's very, very, 1990s. I mean, it's old school campaign. While, Hampton is like, I mean, I think we've had him on the podcast twice, and you could probably get him on every week. I mean, he's just that available that if you get your news from social media, you see a lot more of Hampton Harris.
But I agree, Chris. Hampton's boots on the ground. He's everywhere. He's all over the place. He doesn't just go to little Republican events in these cities and counties. He goes to civic groups. He goes to any kind of organization working, whether it's whoever it is. He's out there just like you already articulated. So I think that I have no idea how this thing is going to turn out. The question is how many people are going to vote, and sometimes that helps people like a Hampton Harris. So we'll have to wait and see.
Joshua McKee has spent a bunch of money in this. If you follow the money deal, of course, I don't know how much he spent when he was in one, but I'm not seeing him around as much, but I know he's spending the money.
Well, I will say this, Rhett has articulated his what he did has done in the Alabama legislature. And there's a number of things he supported with the leadership. But then I see where Hampton and others, I think there was an event last night or night before last in Dothan. I think it was last night. And they all came out and presented all these taxes that he's voted for. So I think it's confusing a lot of folks because Rhett's saying he voted against all these taxes. And then and then his opponents are kind of showing where he has supported a number of them, whether they're local.
Yeah, I kind of think the legislature needs the smart minds in there this next time need to get together and figure out how we want to address local bills where we don't have to have like 60 friends sign off.
Well, it's like that. It's like
to raise the school tax and
or the tax on, the highway construction. Well, that was a good thing. They tax diesel fuel, and you don't hear that much. Well, diesel fuel drives those tractors throughout the wiregrass. That's a big issue with farmers. So it's going to be interesting how all of these specific issues and who catches on to it. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to know who's going to turn out to vote, Chris. But
it'll be interesting.
Be interesting.
And if y'all don't want to touch on this, I understand. But I hear that there's Rhett has a lot going against him because there's a big anti-Angie Horn thing going on. People don't want to see him go
I wouldn't know
because
anything about that, Christopher.
Is Angie running his campaign?
Yes.
yes,
Okay, well, it's Angie's a tough nut. You and I both know that. So I certainly won't want to run against her. That's for sure. She's a tough one.
I'm
I mean,
not
she's
so
been
much sure
around
though.
a long time and she's run a bunch of campaigns.
Okay.
Interesting.
One other question on this race here.
Yes, sir.
We've interviewed Chris Horn several times. Is he a factor in this?
I think the factor's David Matthews. I think if he can turn out some people in the Wiregrass, that almost that will help either Hampton or David one, because it's a vote for them in the Wiregrass is going to be a vote against Rhett. So that's where his big vote
Yeah.
would be. Rhett, that's his hometown, is Enterprise. And if they can siphon off of those votes and turn out a big crowd in Montgomery, could be quite interesting.
I think Chris Horn is going to get votes. I mean, he works
Yeah, I
hard.
think he is too.
He's out there on podcasts. He does interviews.
And he has a
My
following.
question with Chris is I don't think he can be in the top two candidates here, but who is he taking votes away from? Because remember,
Good
you don't have
question.
a runoff in this race. It's one and you're done. Whoever has the most votes on August 11th will be the GOP nominee. The GOP nominee might win this with 35% of the vote.
Well, let me say
I
this.
mean, theoretically, you could win it with that. Less than that, you could have 19% win it.
No question. I like Chris, but nobody knows him in the second congressional district.
Right.
From up in Huntsville or up in that neck of the woods. So he could be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but that's going to hurt him. Nobody knows who he is. Everybody's going to know. There's groups that are going to know every other candidate because they're from around here. So
with Tabitha Eisner, go ahead, Brandon.
Who do you think is the strongest general election candidate? If we could just pick any, was it 6 of them running? Who would have the best shot at taking this congressional seat from Shamari Figures? Because that's kind of what the Republican voters are trying to think, is not necessarily who I would like the most, but who do I think has the best shot?
In my opinion, I don't think it matters. I think everybody's going to turn out to vote against Shamari.
I support what Chris is saying. There's a group out there, and they've organized a group called Take Back Two, and that's to get rid of Shamari. It's called Take Back Two. They're very well organized. All that's going to get cranked up after the primary, but that's what it's about, is take back the second congressional district. So you're going to have that organization, which is kind of a super PAC, and then you got whoever the Republican nominee is running. So I'm like Chris. I think whoever the candidate is, they're going to win, even if it's Horn.
I think it's going to be a close race. I mean, I don't think it's going to be just a give me there.
I think Shamari is more popular in 2 than a lot of Republicans want to give him credit.
I for this reason, I disagree. He's voted against Trump a bunch of times. This is a 70% Republican district. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
It's 70% now?
Yes, it's 70.2, isn't it? Something like that.
Well, no, it's not 70% Republican, but it's gone from being a 48% black district to a 28% black district. And typically in Alabama, white people tend to vote 82 to 85% for Trump and the Republicans.
You made my point. Well, the bottom line is whoever is the Republican nominee is going to beat Shamari, but there's going to be a lot of people working hard.
It's going to take the GOP to put some money in here. If they're just going to rely on local people and make some poor candidate, try to,
Shamari's going to have to turn out the black voter in Montgomery. That's a big vote here.
Yeah.
So that's what he
And
will
across
have to
the northern part of the Wiregrass.
I mean, with a Doug Jones ticket, I mean, and it seems like revitalized party. I mean, you're not concerned that
I don't, I mean, I keep hearing the Dems are back and revitalized Democrats and Doug Jones and all, and
I
you
mean,
know,
in that particular district, though, can they turn out enough votes that we've got
I don't
Republicans
believe
saying,
they can. I mean, I don't think this is Don Siegelman's Democrat Party. I think
no,
most of
no,
those
not at
people
all.
are dead or they became Republicans and are just ignoring the first half of their life.
I'm just going to tell you what's happening to Democrat parties. They're getting taken over by the socialist Democrats. They can say
Oh,
everything
yeah.
they want, but to me, a Democrat to me is to the left of Lenin. They ain't gonna fly in the second congressional district.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. These are no Democrats. Let me ask this one more question with this right here. With how is this going to play with Tabitha Eisner urging
Yeah,
Democrats to cross over?
Tabitha Eisner keeps talking about getting Democrats to vote in the which is legal. It's perfectly legal
Today,
Right.
for a Democrat, even one who voted in the Democrat primary and the Democrat primary runoff, to vote in this special primary just because this is so unusual. The Alabama legislature has never passed a law to deal with this.
and that's the reason that could I know what they're thinking. Let's vote for the weakest candidate. So when runs, he'll have a better shot to win. So they're going to encourage the Democrats to vote in this.
Yeah,
Could that benefit? Could that benefit
Randy
Horn?
Kelly and or Joe Reed and the Democrat leadership has disavowed this and has said that that woman is smoking something. I mean, that's really literally what Randy Kelly said.
Could that benefit Horn though? Because if you got the
There's no,
blacks,
I don't know who they would vote for. I mean, there's the question. I mean, Tabitha is saying that she's trying to stop Jerry Carl from winning down in one and block Rhett Marquez in two.
I mean, if the blacks were turning out, do you not think they would choose Horn in this primary?
That's your guess. I mean, do they support the black Republican or do they see the black Republican as an Uncle Tom? I honestly have no idea because I don't think there's that many people that will do this. I'm kind of thinking the Democrats that will show up will be like white Democrats that are like Doug Jones disciples just trying to cause trouble. I don't believe the rank and file black Alabama Democrat is ever voting in a Republican primary.
Well, with that said, is why the legislature needs to pass the party registration bill. That is, it's a problem. It's going to continue to be a problem until the legislature acts.
We could have fixed this quite easily in the regular session by passing party registration. And, they came back with a very soft bill that wouldn't have put registration in place this time anyway. It would have been 4 years from now, and even that failed. So I don't know if registration is going anywhere or not, but
I think.
Are y'all enjoying watching this with the Democrats though, with Tabitha Eisner and Joe Reed? It's like y'all are just burning the house down.
Well, I mean, I think what happened is Joe Reed and Randy Kelly took over the Democrat Party, from that Doug Jones, white progressive faction. I think they were trying to run Josh Coleman, if I remember correctly, as their candidate. And when they took control, they said, we need a white person as the vice chair because they know they can't win as an all black party. So it's like, let's just make this pretty little Montgomery girl the vice chair. And they didn't vet. They did not vet her at all, and so she's out there as a loose cannon that is completely outside to control.
Let me make one final statement. The Democrats, they're to the left, as we talked about, but there's no Jimmy Clarks or Seth Hammett's left in the Democrat Party. That's gone. I mean, those two were as conservative as me, but they don't exist anymore. Gone, period. And so, and I think people in the second Congressional District know that. I think the people of the state of Alabama know that. And then they kind of, every time they turn on the TV, they see all these liberal Democrats saying we don't need voter ID, even when the voter out there wants it. You know, both parties, when they're polled, they want it. But those leaders in the Democratic Party don't want voter identification. They don't want it. Well, that's all that's resonating in people, and they're getting tired of Democrats. And today, it looks like it's being more about the Republican Party versus anti-American Party. That's what's going on. And now I see the Republican Party expanding. You know, some of these Democrats may be joining in the Republican Party, and it may take a while for the current Republicans to understand why that's going on, whether they're,
Hubbard,
you know.
we're going way back in the time machine to 2010. He made that mistake when he was urging his Democrat supporters to vote in the Republican primary to give us Robert Bentley instead of Bradley Byrne back in the day.
I remember that, right.
And the problem with that is once people vote in the Republican Party and get to know the candidates and things, what we found is a lot of them never went back. I mean, you know, we've got a bunch of
he killed any chance.
liberal, you know, Republicans in name only, but they never went back and voted to the Democrats.
Yeah.
Angie was running that primary race too.
Yeah, we're going back to the Angie time machine.
But I mean, he killed any chance Ron Sparks had in that race when he.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Ron was dead in the water because after you told all these people that normally would be Ron Sparks voters to vote for Robert Bentley in the Republican primary,
then how do you tell them to vote for
Republican primary runoff? They were going to vote for their candidate in the fall, which was Robert Bentley.
Yeah. Should we even talk about the Democratic candidates? I mean, I don't even know. I've interviewed one the other day. His Facebook picture.
The Democrats have a very, very full slate of candidates.
But I mean, I'm talking about the congressional races.
Interviewing them and giving them their moment in the sun.
I'm talking about
right now. My focus is on this August 11th deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Any of these other Republicans beat Jerry Carl in one, or is this Jerry Carl?
That's what I'm talking about. The Democratic candidates.
Jerry Carl's to lose at this point.
I mean, I don't even know who. I interviewed a Democratic candidate the other day. He had his fingernails was painted in the pride colors, and he's running the 6th Congressional District. I'm like, yeah, is this all you got to offer?
I talked to Jerry Carl. I was in D.C. last week. I spent a little time with him, and he's already met with the leadership, and they've already ensured him, if he's elected, he will be appointed to the Appropriations Committee. And of course, he likes to help the military and stuff like that. So I'm sure it will either be tied with.
And he has the Trump endorsement.
He does, but
I'm pretty confident he's going to win, though, aren't y'all?
I'm
very confident. I'm just wondering, is that what the people in District 1 are thinking? I mean, it's like Jerry had a huge lead over Rhett Marquez. You know what? They were going to have a Republican primary runoff, but that all got nixed because of the redistricting and Coffee County and all that part that where it wasn't Jerry country got kicked to the curb and back into 2. And then Jerry got reinforcements when the northern half of Mobile County went back to 1.
I think he wins, period.
So y'all think he's going to win? Y'all think Rhett's going to win?
I don't want to make a prediction in 2.
I think that's
right now the front runner is Rhett.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
You know, if it was today, I'm pretty confident Rhett wins. Now, what happens on August? What can happen between now and August 11th? Yeah, I don't get out on that bridge because things can change in campaigns.
right?
And
Right
let me
now,
tell you this. Go ahead, Perry.
like I said, all the candidates are great, and whoever the nominee is, we everybody should get behind them so we can take back District 2. I think that's the key. I'm, you know, Rhett would do a good job. All of these candidates would do a good job. So we'll just have to see what happens in the runoff. I mean, in the election on the 11th. Be interesting.
Well, let me tell you this one thing about Hampton. Me and Brandon's interviewed him twice, and from the two interviews, it's been night and day. I mean, I don't know who's working with him, but he's got talking points. He knows
Good.
subject matter a lot better. I mean, he's doing a tremendous
I
job out
mean,
there from what I'm
we
seeing.
were interviewing him months before the Republican primary when he was the only candidate running in two against Shamari. And, I mean, again, he's done a whole bunch of interviews since then and podcasts and debates. And, the more you talk, it's like anything else. The more you throw a football, the better you get at throwing a football.
Yeah,
And the more interviews and podcasts you do, the better you get at interviews and podcasts.
Well,
yeah. He's Go ahead, Perry.
that if I was one of those candidates, I'd be stressing the importance of Save America Act just about more than anything. And the other one would be to get in there and uh, fight in order to get these gas prices down. That's what I'd be doing, and that's hopefully, I don't know. I've heard them speak, and a lot of them talk about those kind of things, but uh, I'd be I'd be beating the news media down talking about the Save America Act as much as possible.
I mean, I
So,
hate it, but I think the Save America Act is dead as it's roadkill. I don't think there's any way that Donald Trump or Jesus Christ could come up with the votes in the U.S. Senate to kill the filibuster so that Republicans could then pass the SAVE Act in the Senate.
I don't know
I
if
mean,
I'd question Jesus Christ.
well, I mean, there,
And
I don't think if Donald Trump can't convince the U.S. Senate, Republican U.S. senators they need to do this, I love Jesus. I don't think he could do it either. Because
well,
again, it's up to them, and they're like,
well,
they
I'm
got
hearing, Coach Tuberville and Senator Scott and a number of senators are raising hell because they want to work in the month of August on that bill instead of recessing and coming back to September. Have you been reading about that?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think if they spent August working on a budget, that would make better sense because I think the Republicans that are no on the filibuster have had their say
Well,
and they're not budging.
well, here's the thing on that reconciliation thing. If they can, I've been hearing that they've got a plan that the leadership may interpret what they're trying to do uh, to pass the Save America Act through the reconciliation budget, that they got a good shot. And now they're trying to get the 51 votes now,
Yeah,
not the 60, trying
yeah,
to just get their own party to be there. And that Murkowski lady from up there, where is it?
Alaska.
Alaska has been a problem. I'm hoping she'll change her mind.
I don't. I think even if you have the 51 votes, and even if you try that reconciliation plan, I think the Senate parliamentarian, whom they should have got rid of at the first thing, will kill that deal. I don't
That's
think
who they've
people,
been talking to.
the parliamentarian.
Yes, they've been talking to her to make sure what they do is legal in order to pass it. Now, that's the game plan. Now,
Okay.
we'll see if it works. Hopefully it will.
Before we
shifting
go,
gears.
what do you think about 7? Who is going to win that? Amy Aiken or David Perry?
Oh, I don't have the slightest idea. Somebody's supposed to give me gave David my contact info, and I'm waiting for him to
Yeah,
reach out to me.
interesting.
I mean, they haven't even given the Republican Party their Facebook or anything like that.
I hadn't heard anything about that, right?
I mean, they're running to be the Republican to run against Terry Sewell. And I mean, that district is not as Republican friendly as the one the special master gave her, but it's still it's still like majority black, and there's a lot of white Democrats on that south side of Birmingham.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I
shifting gears
wish
here,
could take that in theory, but I mean, I just don't
I don't see
see
that.
it right now. I mean,
Let me ask y'all one other thing before we go here. Well, we got you that Perry May can put some insight into. I know,
Okay.
Brian, you said you don't think the Democrats are back, but there's no arguing they are motivated. I mean, we've seen the largest turnout since 2008. I've
in the
read a lot
primary,
of Republic. Yeah, I mean, still, if they turn out the
I mean,
primary, there's
some
no
of
reason
these
to say they're.
other elections, they didn't have candidates in the
Yeah,
primary.
I mean, so if they turn out the primary, I mean, I think they're going to turn out then too. But I mean, I've heard more and more Republicans that have got upset with Coach over this data center thing that said they're not voting for him. I mean, is he damaging himself right now going into the fall?
Well, let me say this. At some point, we've got to look at some way to make sure we have a strong electrical grid out there and that we don't lose our electricity and we have power and stuff like that. I think what Coach should do is just not say another word about that till he's elected governor. That's what I do. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say a word about it. There's too many questions about it. If he says anything, he says, that's something that's a concern. We don't want China to be the pro on this kind of stuff. But at some point, if we look at that, we need to make sure there's good sound environmental controls in there and we don't end up having dirty water, and it's all kind of thing. We don't lose jobs, that people will continue to have their jobs. Those are a lot of questions that people are asking. So I don't think it has helped Coach Tuberville just coming out saying we got to have that now and stuff like that. I think he could amend that and say, at some point, we've got to take a hard look at that, but there's a lot of concerns that we have to have, and the people need to get protected. We don't want the people to have to pay for all this stuff. So I think that's kind of what he needs to say. Does that make any sense? I kind of went around.
Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. So I got one another like touch right quick.
Yes,
up here where I live in Blount County, rural Blount County, I live on back roads, county roads, and there are Ron Sparks for Ag Commissioner signs everywhere up here. He's running commercials. He's all over social media. I mean, does Ron have a chance in this race?
Well, let me say this. Ron Sparks is a great guy. He's just in the wrong party. I mean, his issues are completely different than it, and he supports issues a lot different than his other Democrats running. But I think he's got to be concerned about the straight Republican lever pulling.
Right.
I think that's his main concern. If he wants to win, he's got to educate people about splitting.
Am I reading too much into this? Seeing Ron Sparks signs and trailers, houses that have trailers, which usually would be Trump voters.
I'll be honest with you, Christopher. I think there are people that have a Ron Sparks sign in front of their house who like Ron Sparks and love Ron Sparks and want to vote Ron Sparks, who will go to the polls in November and they will go straight Republican and not think to go down there and split their ticket because they always vote straight R, at least they have since 2010.
That's my point. And if he wants to change that, Ron, that's what Ron should be talking more about, is splitting your ticket. And I mean, I would venture to say in some of those trailer homes, and they probably got a Trump sign and a Ron Sparks sign in the same yard.
Yeah, that's what's throwing me off. I'm like, okay, so I mean, because I wouldn't think there'd be 1,000 voters in Blount County for a Democrat.
I wouldn't.
Blount and St. Clair County and Shelby are all changing a little bit demographically, as historically Democrat voters look to buy new homes. There's for obvious reasons. If I live in Inslee or Roebuck or, Norwood,
Yeah.
and when I decide to
Yeah.
upgrade and buy a new home, one, nobody's building a lot of new homes in those neighborhoods.
No.
So they sort of have to move to the burbs where new home construction is in the deal. And
I
two,
don't
they
think
don't
new home
want
construction
crime
is why
and
they want to get out of
all
there,
about
those areas, Brandon.
neighborhoods and crap too. So they move out,
Yeah.
and we pick up a few Democrats out here in our communities because of that. I think you see the same thing in Elmore County and Watauga County.
You're saying it nicely, Brandon. I mean, new homes ain't why they're trying to get out of Inslee or Roebuck.
Well, I mean, if you have a cool job and you qualify for a new house,
You're not
I
buying a
mean,
house in
there's not a
Roebuck.
new house to buy in Inslee.
Yeah.
I don't care if you had a brand new mansion down there. If you could buy one, you're not buying it in
Then who's
Inslee.
building it? I mean, what builder is buying lots and building, 100 new homes in Inslee or North Birmingham? I mean, it's
I
like,
mean, I knew a guy who went down off 31st Street in Birmingham, where the Caraway Hospital was at, and there are mansions there on streets that are just vacated. And he went in there and bought a house for $15,000 and put like 30 in it. He's got a brand new house just sitting there in the middle of nowhere. I mean,
I guarantee you, there are homes in Norwood where if I could go in there and buy the house and lift him, haul him all the way out to Moody or Leeds or Odenville, and then I put him on an acre lot and then just completely refurbished him, he's a $300,000 house.
oh, more than that, probably a half
And
million dollar house,
and where he sits, he's a $30,000 house.
Can I say
if that.
something? Can I say something real quick?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
It's a little off the subject, but this last weekend, I had the opportunity I was invited to go to the summer White House event at Bedminster, Trump's summer home. It's in
Oh, okay.
Bedminster, out in the country in New Jersey. It was fantastic. You had some lady dressed up in a Declaration of Independence dress. You had the guy, the opera singer, singing God Bless America. Listen, they had Challenger, the eagle, next to him singing that. And when he went real loud, that eagle went, it was great. I just loved it.
Oh,
But
wow.
but I will tell you
fun.
this, Trump, and they had Joe Papesto, that guy that used to be on Saturday Night Live and all. He's a heck of a singer. He sang a lot of Frank Sinatra. They had all that kind of stuff going on. But Trump loves Alabama. He said
Oh, yeah.
he loves Alabama more than any state in the country. He just
I believe it.
and I just want everybody, your viewers, to hear that. He's I don't know how this guy he'll go over, he'll fly across the ocean to some meeting. He'll be in DC, he'll be at Bedminster, he'll be in whatever state. I've never seen a guy at 80 years old with that kind of energy. He's an amazing guy. He's an
It
amazing.
goes off that little sleep.
I don't know how because he's working constantly 24/7, and
Yeah.
his health seems to be, he's always fired up. But I just want everybody to know that he had told me how much he just loved the great state of Alabama.
Great.
We may have some other event coming up too in Montgomery at Dr. Randy Brenson's house, celebrating a lot of I don't know if Trump will be able to make it, but a lot of his people, maybe one of the kids, and we're going to do fireworks, and it's going to be a big deal celebrating 250 years stuff. So I'll call you. I would think you would love coming to that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I would love to be able to go to that.
Yes, sir. And then you can interview whoever you want to. That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. That'd be great. Be a lot of people I can meet there.
Great.
I appreciate that.
You got it. Brandon, what you got the rest of the day?
We got some articles coming up here at the Gazette.
Good.
More Katie Britt and Tommy Tuberville news. We're kind of following some of the shootings that occurred in Montgomery in the last few days. I think we've had our 30th murder in Montgomery.
Yeah, it's I'm hearing more and more Judge Love is going to run for mayor next time.
I think that's a distinct possibility. I mean, if I was Stephen Reed,
So word on the
I'd be
street.
finding something else to do with my rest of my time. But
Yeah, while he's still, politically viable for that 7th congressional seat one day.
Yeah, that's
I don't think of course the legislature is going to redistrict. I don't know they're going
All
to
right.
redistrict in a way where the 7th comes all the way down to Montgomery County.
it. If they do anything at all, it'll be a little bit more Republican, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, if they do, if they go into 7, I think what you'll find is that they'll split Birmingham 3 ways between 7, 3, and 4, and 6, or 4 ways.
Interesting.
Because it doesn't take much to change all. I mean, Alabama is a 70-30 state where we vote about 65 to 70% Republican and 30 to 35% Democrat. Very easy to make that into a 7 Republican leaning district
Good.
state.
You could.
I mean, Massachusetts votes 40%, 35 to 40% Republican. Do not have a
Yeah, they
single,
have no Republican districts.
they do not have a single Republican district because that's professionally gerrymandered, so we can't win there.
Yeah.
Chris and Brandon, I've got to move. I got to leave. I got a meeting I've got to attend.
We've had
Yeah, I gotta go to the
your
VA.
time anyway.
Well, I always love to see Chris. He's got a great program. I hope everybody continues to tune in to him all across the state and nation. Chris, always good to see you, brother.
Good to see you. Thanks, Barry. Hey, if you got a friend's request opens,
I
accept
did.
it where I can.
I've
Oh,
already
okay.
got-
Now I can tag you in the videos when I put them up.
That's great. I just did that right before we
Okay.
started.
All right. Yeah, okay. When I
Hey,
load
and
this up
call
later, I'll
me-
tag you in.
Just call me on my cell phone if you didn't, but I did.
Yeah, I've been calling you on your cell phone. Goes to voicemail. I texted you.
Oh, I apologize. I don't know.
That's all right.
Last 10 days I've been in DC and then that big.
Oh,
national
okay. Well, that's
meeting
probably what
in
it was then.
But
Yeah,
I
and let me
appreciate
know when you talk. Yeah, let me know when you talk to Fob.
I will. We'll talk.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you, brother.
guys. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Farewell, Christopher.
Bye,
See you.
Brandon.
See you, Barry.